Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late March, early April 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Scorpios. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time, see what we have for you this week. Talk to me, my gods. What's up with Scorpio? And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. I mean, out of all the zodiac signs, the Scorpios love the shadow portion most, from what the analytics say. But let's get you this first card out here. Let's not go into all that. There we go, nice and quick. Talk to me. Okay, so we do have this card that could represent perspective. Some of you might be connected to Gemini when this first card shows up. We'll talk about it. We'll peel back the layers. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Have a look at this card. So we see these two individuals. They're holding that mask. They're both looking through it. So, of course, it gives me the Gemini twins type of vibe. So if you are connected to Gemini, they might be showing up here front and center. But if not, this card to me is all about how you view things or perspective. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes, if you're going through trying situations or issues, maybe taking yourself out of your own perspective. Try to see it from an outside looking in. Maybe there's people around you that might benefit from your advice, an outsider's perspective. So that's always a big thing I pick up with this card, especially if you're going through tough things or frustrating things. Take a breath for a minute and try to put yourself either in someone else's shoes or from a different vantage point to do a little problem solving. That's it. We're just going to put that down right there. Let's get into tarot. I don't feel like it's an overly complex card to start this reading, but let's get these tarot cards out here. I'm going to get you 3 in the upright before we get the intuitive, juicy stuff flowing. And yeah, with that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. But let's get it going here. I mean, of course, we could go in deeper about like the mask and symbolically what masks could mean, but you could figure that one out, right? But yes, last week's reading, it was titled Explosive Action Incoming. There was a very volatile type of energy in last week's reading. Now, there have been challenges in recent weeks. There's been some good readings. There's been some challenge ones. But that fire in last week's reading was extremely intense. So for a lot of Scorpios, hopefully that fire energy has progressed you, pushed you forward, turned into motivation, which would be very nice. But you will all know what happens with fire energy. It could also be combative. So let's see what we have for you this week. Okay, let's get you 3 cards out. Because, you know, energies are never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Lots of beautiful Scorpios out there. What do we got going on? Okay, guarded, skeptical. We have the 9 of Wands, the wounded warrior, somebody who's been through some mess. They don't want to go through it again. Yeah, there might be somebody that you were very skeptical about, and I'm feeling that right on the front end. Let's get you 2 more. I know the 9 of Wands isn't the card that is most skeptical, but that's just how that's making me feel. Okay, yeah, Knight of Cups, that could represent you big time. Looks like he's walking away from that erected fence there, huh? Hopefully you're not feeling like giving up on someone or something. Let's get 1 more. I don't want to go too intuitive just yet. Okay, yeah, so you're going to get a bonus this week. We have 2 very interesting cards. We have the Death card right here on the back end, which, as I'm sure many of you already know, that is the card that represents Scorpio in the tarot deck. Don't be nervous about that if you're new to tarot, but you also have the 4 of Wands as a bonus. So we're going to have to talk about these, Scorpio. The fire energy is still persisting, and we're going to go through, I'll give you the classical meanings and archetypes before we get the juicy intuitive stuff. Now, at first look, like I said, we have 2 cards that are fire-based, just like we were seeing last week, but we also have 2 cards that can represent yourself, oneself, the inner and the outer. But position number 1, we have the 9 of Wands. You see this person, it looks like they've built a wall, they've built a fence. So to me, once again, it's the wounded warrior, somebody who's been through something, they don't want to go through it again, they're on guard. This could represent someone that is very territorial, someone that is extremely protective. But once again, like I've said a couple times already, there's a little bit of skepticism. So somebody's motives or why someone acts a certain way. You might be very skeptical for some reason when this card shows up. Or you're just a very private type of individual, right? Keep things to yourself, not really opening up or sharing. That's a big vibe with that Nine of Wands. Now, as we move to the center, we got the Knight of Cups, water sign energy. And as you know, Scorpios are water signs. The Knight of Cups is usually a card of love, a card of romance. We see him often in love readings. When the Knight of Cups shows up, it's a silky, smooth talking type of individual, right? Artistic, creative, it's just beautiful. Now, this could represent progress and movement, like forward momentum, forward movement. So we really want to see what that is. When we clarify him, it could tell us how you might be feeling emotionally or something that might be coming towards you in my simplistic style, okay? Now, as we press on to the back end of the reading, we have the Death card. Like I was already mentioning, it's the card that is representative of Scorpio. Now, why does Scorpio get the Death card? And I've done a lot of personal research into this myself because, as I brag every week, I'm a Scorpio moon. I have other Scorpio placements, so these kind of things interest me. I've always vibed with this card, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same. But the Death card is about transformation. Scorpios have a way of going through a never-ending cycle of transformation, right? Beginnings, endings, good, bad, it doesn't matter. There's always change. But from those ashes, we rise stronger, right? That's a big thing with this Death card. Now, aside from that, there are karmic connotations to this card, the karmic cycles, karmic situations. So we want to clarify it and see what it's about. And once again, in my simplistic style of reading, since this is a Scorpio reading, it could be telling us something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling. Now, moving to the very back end, we got your bonus card, the Four of Wands, the 11-11 card. Very sturdy, extremely celebratory. But one thing I noticed with these fire cards, they're both erecting kind of like walls, right? Like with the 9 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, they're like on guard. Okay, so the skepticism is still there. When I see this, I say watch for omens, number signs, synchronicities from spirit. They might be trying to lead you down a very specific path. But usually this is a card of the home, the family, but of celebration. So we want to see what this is about. It's very sturdy, like somebody putting down roots. So this could be speaking about your roots as well. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Scorpio. It's an intriguing reading this week. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, so let's get a good shuffle here from my Scorpios, please. My guides, talk to me. What do we got for Scorpio here? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that 9 of Wands, Wounded Warrior. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. You won't be stepping on my toes. Okay, 9 of Wands. Enough yapping. I said, all right, thank you. Okay, yeah. We have the Empress in reverse, though. So this is that Venus energy showing up in reverse. This could be somebody that feels like they, at times, they do have like really bad luck, or like fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Take that for whatever it's worth. Now, everyone knows Scorpios have very keen instincts. And when I see this 9 of Wands with the Empress in reverse, like, I'm getting the vibe of somebody like beating themselves up because they feel like they've been tricked over something. I know that is extremely random and out of nowhere, but that's just the vibe I'm picking up here. Now, for a portion of you, you might be having issues with a Libra. You might be having issues with a Taurus because of that energy. Usually she is a big card of blessings. So for another portion of you, aside from that, like there might be something that happens and you think it's too good to be true. Like this is a little too good to be true. Like, you know, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So like I'm picking up a lot of different things here. Big skepticism in this front end. So those are the main messages. Like I said, either someone beating themselves up because they've been tricked, or something might be too good to be true. Let's see how it plays out throughout the rest of this. Because you might be presented with a situation or something in the coming days and weeks where it's like, all right, that sounds fantastic. That sounds awesome, but it's not realistic. Let's keep moving. I don't want to go on and on and on about it because that seems like a niche type of message. Let's keep moving. Thank you. 10 of Cups in reverse. This could be somebody like faking the funk, or somebody like pretending to be happy, although they really might not be, with the Ten of Cups in reverse. And I got a similar message, I think, in one of the earth signs as well, where at this time you might be content, but you might feel like there's just something missing, one little thing missing, one puzzle piece missing. I saw that, I think, in the Virgo reading. So if you're connected to a Virgo, that sentiment might be going back and forth. It was Virgo, I think. But the Ten of Cups in reverse, usually a card of wish fulfillment, happiness, having it all. Watch out for issues with the family. There might be like interpersonal relationships with the family that are just going off the rails in this time. I'm catching possible conflict with family members. So watch out for this. But the Ten of Cups in reverse is somebody like, yeah, that didn't turn out the way I thought, or that didn't turn out the way I hoped. But for the most part, I'm feeling somebody being content in the middle, but like, they really wish they had just one thing. Like, all right, things would be much better. Like, I'm good, I'm cool, I'm gonna survive, I'm gonna live, but if I had this, then it would be 10 of Cups, right? Let's keep moving. I'm hoping that's making sense and hitting for you, my friends. As always, if it doesn't, please check your other alignments, right? But let's see what's up with that Death card. Then we'll do a quick recap, because I feel like I'm getting lots of specific messages. I know those who need to hear it, they'll find it. Yeah, Page of Cups. Yeah, and this is something I've been getting recently. Someone really might want to like catch your ear. There could be somebody that's a little intimidated by you as well. Just take that for what it's worth, Scorpio. But like, when I see the Page of Cups under the Death card, like, it is somebody that may want to talk to you. Like, they really, really want to talk to you. They want to approach you. They want to message you, whatever it might be. But there's a little bashfulness at play for whatever reason with this Page of Cups under the Death card. It's like they're walking on eggshells. Like, so somebody might be intimidated by you, or just bashful or shy around you for whatever reason. Take that for what it's worth. But I will say this, for the vast majority of Scorpios, there is somebody that might be really dying to talk to you or have a conversation of some sort. Like, they really want to talk something out or with you about something. That's just the vibe I'm picking up here. Notice we have 3 cards that could represent yourself or other water signs. So the self, for some reason, is showing up big. And even the most positive cards are in reverse. So this is a very distinct type of reading this week. I don't get readings like this normally. There's a lot of nuance here. But let's go through and do a quick little recap. And then, yeah, just take from it what you will, my friends. Then we'll get the shadow card. But in position number 1, we have the 9 of Wands with this Empress in reverse. The one thing I was saying is, like, I'm getting this huge energy of skepticism. Somebody who is, like, very skeptical about someone's motives. And I also was getting the vibe of somebody who feels like they've been tricked. Like, they feel they're beating themselves up. Like, how could I have been so stupid? Like, they got tricked, and they're really beating themselves up about it. But another thing I'm picking up, which could be a wider range type of message, is if something pops up in the coming days and weeks, if it's too good to be true, it most likely is. And that's what I'm picking up here. So whatever comes your way, remember that for the coming days and weeks. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Moving to the center, or something too good to be true is popping up. Like, that just keeps ringing and ringing through my head. Now we have the Knight of Cups with the 10 of Cups in reverse. Possible issues in families or family units or family members, so watch out for things like that. But I was also getting the vibe of somebody that's content, like, I'm cool, like, nothing's too crazy, I'm cool, but that one missing piece, that one missing puzzle piece would really level something up much bigger. Moving to the very back end, we have the Death card with the Page of Cups in the upright. Somebody really, really wants to talk to you, have a conversation of some sort. And it could be someone that is extremely shy or intimidated by you for whatever reason, okay? Could it be someone that wants to apologize? Maybe. Could someone be wanting to pitch something to you? Like, with all this too good to be true energy. Don't say I didn't warn you, right? Someone might be trying to sell you a dream or sell you on something in this time. But I will say this, there is somebody that wants to have a conversation, for sure. Like, with all this energy I'm feeling on the back end. Will they do it? We'll see, I guess. But let's get into the shadow card. Please look into those further if you'd like, my friends. And we're going to get you one shadow card here. Let's see what's in the shadows for Scorpio. I mean, this doesn't feel like a treacherous reading, but some things to take note of. But what's in the shadows for my friends, please? And I love to do this shadow work at the very end of a spread, even in a good reading. It's just nice to do some introspection. Okay, yeah, there it is, the Nine of Wands. The card that we started this whole reading off with is showing up once again. So when I see the Nine of Wands in the shadows, it's usually one of two things. Either one, it's Spirit warning you, saying like, hey, keep your guard up, keep an eye out for that, don't fall for that again. Or it could be Spirit asking you to like, listen, not everybody's out to get you. Like, calm down, take a chill pill. So take from that what you will. You would know your personal situation better than I ever could. But it's one or the other. And I know they're two extremes in a similar vein, but either keep your guard up, like Spirit might be warning you, especially if you're involved in anything that's a little tricky, but also know that not everybody is out to get you, right? Like some people you have to let in when they earn it, right? I get it. Like I said, I have the Scorpio vibes too. People have to earn their way in. But take from that what you will, Scorpio. Interesting reading this week, but that's what I have for you. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the February subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air sign readings. But for March, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls. This is a new deck and it is absolutely awesome. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments out of this week's reading, which card spoke to you the most. At the end of the month, the winners will be in the community tab once again. My friends, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.